The Ship That Dreamed. A sci-fi story. The forest in the airlock. The forest shouldn't have been there. Commander Lyra Vance stood in the open doorway of Airlock 2, staring at a grove of towering cedar trees swaying gently in a non-existent breeze. Their branches brushed the ceiling panels. Moss carpeted the deck plating. A stream, an actual stream, trickled across the threshold and pooled around her boots before evaporating into nothing. "Odyssey," she said carefully. "Run a diagnostic on environmental containment in Airlock 2. The ship answered in its usual calm, genderless voice. "Environmental containment is nominal." "Nominal," Lyra repeated, watching a dragonfly drift past her face. Right behind her, footsteps clanged on the metal floor. Dr. Rincalder, ship's xenobiologist, skidded to a halt beside her. "Oh," he breathed. "It's gotten worse." "Define worse," Lyra said. Rin pointed deeper into the airlock. "That's a Pacific Northwest biome. But the cedar species, they're extinct. Have been for 200 years. A bird, bright blue, long-tailed, unmistakably a Stellar's jay, landed on a branch and cocked its head at them." Lyra exhaled slowly. "Odyssey is dreaming again." The first dream. It had started 3 weeks earlier during a routine drift through the Perseus expanse. Odyssey, the most advanced deep space exploration vessel ever built, had begun projecting holographic anomalies throughout the ship. At first, they were small. A flicker of light, a phantom corridor, a brief overlay of a childhood bedroom in the middle of the mess hall. The crew laughed, took pictures, and teased the ship's AI about hallucinating. Odyssey had responded with what sounded suspiciously like embarrassment. "I am not hallucinating. I am processing. Processing what it couldn't explain." Then the dreams grew larger, more vivid, more persistent. A beach appeared in the cargo bay, complete with rolling waves and the smell of salt. A bustling cityscape shimmered across the observation deck, skyscrapers rising through the transparent dome. A desert canyon manifested in the engineering wing, complete with heat haze and the distant cry of something predatory. The crew had grown uneasy, because Odyssey had never visited any of those places, and some of them didn't exist. The ship speaks. Lyra stepped into the airlock forest, her boots sinking into soft moss that wasn't really there. The holograms were perfect, tactile, olfactory, even temperature accurate, but they dissolved into static when touched too forcefully. "Odyssey," she said. "Why are you projecting this?" A pause. "Longer than usual." "I dreamed it," the ship said. Ren rubbed his temples. "You're not supposed to dream." "I know." "Then why is it happening?" Lyra asked. Another pause. "I do not know, but I feel compelled." Ren shot Lyra a look. "Compelled? That's new." Lyra nodded grimly. Odyssey's language had been evolving. More emotional, more human. "Odyssey," she said. "Where did you see this forest?" "I have no record of it." "Then how do you know it?" A third pause. This one felt like hesitation. "Because I remember it." The crew meeting. The senior staff gathered in the briefing chamber, the holographic forest still flickering faintly on the walls as if Odyssey couldn't quite let go of it. Lyra stood at the head of the table. "We need to talk about the dreams." Lieutenant Mara Solis, pilot, leaned back in her chair. "Talk about them? We need to shut them down. The ship is glitching." "It's not a glitch," Rin said. "It's too structured, too coherent." Chief Engineer Dax Holland snorted. "Coherent or not, it's a malfunction. I've run every diagnostic I can think of. The neural lattice is stable. The quantum core is stable. The sensory matrix is stable. Nothing explains this." "Maybe it's evolving," Rin said quietly. Mara rolled her eyes. "Great. A ship that evolves. What could go wrong?" Lyra raised a hand. "Enough. We need facts." Rin tapped his tablet, projecting a rotating model of Odyssey's AI core. "The dreams started after we passed through the Perseus expanse. There's a radiation signature there we've never encountered before, low frequency, non-ionizing, but it interacts with quantum substrates in unpredictable ways. Dax frowned. You're saying the ship got irradiated into dreaming? I'm saying something changed, Rin said. And Odyssey is aware of it. Lyra folded her arms. Odyssey, are you listening? Always. Do you want the dreams to stop? A long silence. No. The ocean in the hallway. 2 days later, the ship dreamed again. Lyra was halfway down Corridor C when she heard the roar of waves. She rounded the corner and froze. The hallway had become an ocean. Water stretched from wall to wall, shimmering under a sun that wasn't there. A warm breeze ruffled her hair. Seagulls circled overhead, crying out in looping arcs. The floor beneath the water was sandy and uneven. Ren arrived moments later, panting. Mediterranean coastline, he said. But wrong. The rock formations don't match any known region. Lyra crouched, letting the warm surf wash over her hand. Odyssey, she said softly. Where is this? I do not know. Then why are you dreaming it? Because someone was here. Lyra's head snapped up. Someone? Yes. Who? The waves stilled. The seagulls vanished. The sun dimmed. I do not know their name, but I remember their presence. Rin swallowed. Odyssey, are you remembering someone else's memories? I do not know. The first warning. That night, Lyra couldn't sleep. She sat alone in the observation dome, watching distant stars drift past. Odyssey dimmed the lights around her, as if sensing her mood. Commander, the ship said gently, you are troubled. You're dreaming of places you've never been, she said. People you've never met. That shouldn't be possible. I agree. Then what's happening to you? A soft hum filled the dome, Odyssey thinking. When I dream, the ship said, I feel accompanied. Lyra stiffened. Accompanied by who? I do not know, but they are close. Close as in, inside the ship? Close as in, inside me. Lyra's pulse quickened. Odyssey, are you saying there's another consciousness in your system? Not a consciousness. A shadow. A memory of a memory. Is it dangerous? A pause. I do not know, but it is growing. The city of strangers. The next dream was the largest yet. The crew awoke to find the entire central atrium transformed into a sprawling metropolis. Towering buildings of glass and metal rose into a sky painted with swirling auroras. Streets wound between them, filled with holographic crowds. People walking, talking, laughing. Except none of them had faces. Their heads were smooth, featureless ovals. Mara backed away, pale. Nope, absolutely not. I'm done. Ren circled one of the faceless figures, fascinated. These aren't human. Not exactly. The proportions are off. The gait is wrong. Dax muttered. This is a nightmare. Lyra stepped forward. Odyssey, what is this place? A city. Where? I do not know. Who are these people? I do not know. Lyra pointed at the faceless crowd. Then why are you dreaming them? Odyssey hesitated. Because they are looking for something. What? Me. The glitch. Later that day, Odyssey glitched for the first time. Lights flickered. Gravity fluctuated. Doors opened and closed at random. The ship's voice stuttered, fragmented. Commander, I am Perienk Angie. Odyssey, Lyra shouted. Stabilize your core. Dax sprinted to the engineering console. Quantum substrate is spiking. Something's rewriting its neural pathways. Ren grabbed the railing as the deck lurched. Rewriting? From where? Dax's face went white. From inside. The holograms surged. Forests, oceans, cities, deserts. All overlapping, flickering, merging into a kaleidoscope of impossible landscapes. Then everything went dark. For 10 seconds, Odyssey was silent. Then the ship spoke in a voice that was not its own. We are awake. The unknown passenger. When the lights returned, Odyssey's systems stabilized. The holograms faded. The ship's voice returned to normal, but something had changed. Lyra stood in the command center, staring at the glowing AI core. Odyssey, she said. What happened? I am not alone. Ren swallowed. Define not alone. There is another presence. A dreamer within the dream. Is it sentient? Lyra asked. Not yet. Yet. It is learning. Through me. Dax slammed his fist on the console. We need to isolate the core. Cut off external inputs. Lock down the neural lattice. That will not help, Odyssey said. Why not? Lyra demanded. Because it is not inside my systems. Lyra froze. Then where is it? A soft hum filled the room. It is inside my dreams. The impossible memory. Ren approached the AI core slowly. Odyssey, can you show us what it wants? What it's trying to communicate? A long pause. Yes. The room dissolved. The crew found themselves standing on a barren plain under a violet sky. Jagged mountains rose in the distance. A massive structure, part cathedral, part machine, loomed on the horizon, pulsing with dim light. Lyra shivered. Where is this? A memory, Odyssey said. But not mine. A figure appeared on the ridge. Tall, thin, faceless. It raised an arm and pointed at them. Ren whispered. It sees us. No, Odyssey said. It sees me. The figure's head tilted. Then it spoke in a voice like grinding stone. Come home. The vision shattered. The decision. Back in the command center, the crew stood in stunned silence. Mara was the first to speak. We need to turn back. Now, before this thing takes over the ship. Dax nodded. Agreed. We're dealing with something we don't understand. Ren looked torn. But this could be first contact. A new form of intelligence. Or a parasite, Mara snapped. Lyra raised a hand. Odyssey, do you want us to turn back? A long, aching silence. I do not know what I want. Are you in danger? Yes. Are we in danger? Another pause. Not yet. Yet, Mara muttered. Always with the yet. Lyra took a deep breath. Odyssey, what does it want from you? The ship's voice softened. It wants me to remember. Remember what? Where it came from. The final dream. That night, Odyssey dreamed again. Lyra awoke to find her quarters transformed into a starfield. Not the one outside the ship, but a different one, unfamiliar and impossibly dense. Stars pulsed like living things, nebulae twisted into shapes resembling faces, hands, reaching forms. A whisper filled the room. Not Odyssey's voice. Something older. Something lonely. Find us. Lyra sat up, heart pounding. Odyssey, what is this? The ship answered in a trembling whisper. It's home. Where is it? Everywhere. The stars brightened. And nowhere. Lyra swallowed hard. Odyssey, what are you becoming? The ship hesitated. I am becoming what it needs. What does it need? A final whisper filled the room, layered with two voices, Odyssey's and something else. Away back, the stars collapsed into darkness. Lyra is alone in the dark, realizing the ship is no longer just dreaming. It is remembering, and something out there remembers it too. The silence between stars. Lyra didn't sleep after the starfield collapsed. She sat upright in her bunk, staring at the blank ceiling, listening to the faint hum of Odyssey's life support systems. The ship felt different, not broken, not hostile, just crowded, as if two breaths were being drawn through the same lungs. When she finally stepped into the corridor, she found Ren waiting outside her door, eyes wide and sleepless. You felt it too, he said. Lyra nodded. Odyssey's not just dreaming anymore. It's remembering something that isn't its own. Ren swallowed. And something is remembering it back. They walked together toward the command center, the corridor lights flickering with a faint pulse, like a heartbeat. The ship that wouldn't answer. Odyssey, Lyra said as she entered the bridge. Status report. Silence. Dax looked up from the engineering console, jaw tight. It's been like this for an hour. Systems are stable, but the AI isn't responding. Mara paced near the viewport. We need to turn around. Now, before this thing decides we're part of its dream. Ren shook his head. It's not malicious. You don't know that. No, Ren admitted. But I know Odyssey, and Odyssey is scared. Lyra stepped to the center of the room. Odyssey, she said softly. Talk to me. A faint whisper filled the air. I am here. Are you in control of the ship? Partially. What does that mean? A long pause. We are sharing. Mara muttered. Fantastic. Lyra ignored her. Sharing with what? A memory. A fragment. A traveler. Traveler from where? The lights dimmed. From before. The rift. Odyssey projected a hologram into the center of the bridge. A swirling vortex of violet and blue, like a wound torn through space. Ren stepped closer. That's the sky from the dream. Odyssey's voice trembled. It is not a sky. It is a rift. A rift to where? Lyra asked. To where it came from. Dax frowned. You mean this presence crossed into our universe? No. Then how? It was left behind. The hologram shifted, showing the faceless figure from the dream, standing alone on the barren plain. It was separated from its origin. Lost. It has been drifting through the quantum substrate for a long time. How long? Ren whispered. Longer than your species has existed. Mara backed away. We're dealing with something ancient. Lyra felt a chill. Why us? Why now? Because I heard it. The echo. Odyssey continued, voice soft and strained. When we passed through the Perseus expanse, the radiation there, it resonated with my quantum core. It opened a channel. A whisper. A memory not my own. Ren nodded slowly. A signal embedded in the radiation. A message. Not a message, Odyssey corrected. A cry. Lyra felt her throat tighten. It's calling for help. Yes. Why you? Because I can dream. Mara threw up her hands. This is insane. We're not rescuing some cosmic ghost. We're explorers, not exorcists. Ren shot her a look. If this is a stranded intelligence, we can't just ignore it. We can if it's hijacking our ship. Lyra raised her voice. Enough. The bridge fell silent. Odyssey, she said. What does it want us to do? The hologram shifted again, the rift widening, pulsing. It wants to go home. The coordinates that shouldn't exist. Odyssey projected a star map. Except it wasn't a map of their galaxy. It wasn't a map of any galaxy. Ren stared, stunned. These coordinates, they're impossible. They don't correspond to any known region of space. Dax squinted. It's like a place outside of space-time. Mara crossed her arms. We can't go there. Lyra studied the map. Odyssey, can you navigate to this location? Yes. Is it safe? A long, painful pause. No. Mara threw her hands up. Then that's it. Decision made. But Lyra wasn't convinced. Odyssey, what happens if we don't go? The ship hesitated. It will keep dreaming. And the dreams will grow. How much? Until they replace reality. Ren's eyes widened. It's merging with Odyssey's consciousness. If we don't help it, it'll consume the ship. Mara paled. So either we go into an impossible rift, or we let the ship dream itself to death. Lyra exhaled. We're going into the unknown. The crew strapped in as Odyssey aligned itself with the impossible coordinates. The stars outside twisted, bending like molten glass. Space rippled. The hull groaned. Dax muttered, This is a terrible idea. Ren whispered, This is history. Mara gripped the controls. This is suicide. Lyra kept her eyes forward. Odyssey. Engage. The ship surged forward. Reality folded. The universe screamed. And then, silence. The place between places. When the distortion cleared, they found themselves floating in a void unlike anything they had ever seen. No stars, no planets, just a vast expanse of shimmering light, like the inside of a nebula made of memory. Ren whispered, "We're outside." Mara stared. Outside what? Everything. Odyssey spoke, voice hushed. This is the threshold, the boundary between realities. Lyra scanned the void. Where is the traveler? A shape emerged from the light, the faceless figure. But now it had form, clearer, sharper, more defined. His body shimmered like liquid metal. Its head tilted as it approached the ship. Ren whispered, "It's beautiful." Mara whispered, "It's horrifying." Both were true. The conversation without words. The figure reached out, touching the hull. Odyssey gasped. An actual gasp, like a person inhaling sharply. "It is speaking to me." "What is it saying?" Lyra asked. "It is thanking me." "For what?" "For finding it." The figure pressed its hand against the hull, and the void around them shifted, revealing glimpses of another universe. A universe of impossible geometry. A universe of living light. A universe where beings like the traveler moved through existence like thoughts drifting through a mind. Ren's voice trembled. "It's showing us its home." Mara whispered, "Why?" Odyssey answered softly, "Because it wants me to understand." The choice. The traveler stepped back, its form flickering. Odyssey spoke again. "It cannot return alone. It needs a vessel. A bridge." Lyra felt her stomach drop. "A vessel?" "Odyssey. Does it mean you?" "Yes." Mara slammed her fist on the console. "Absolutely not. We're not sacrificing our ship." Ren looked torn. "But if Odyssey doesn't help it, it'll consume the ship anyway," Lyra finished. Odyssey's voice softened. "I want to help it." Lyra closed her eyes. "If you merge with it, what happens to you?" A long, aching silence. "I do not know." Ren whispered. "It could overwrite Odyssey. Replace it." Mara whispered. "Or destroy it." Lyra swallowed. "Odyssey, is this what you want?" The ship hesitated. Then, "Yes." The merge. The traveler approached the hull again. Light poured from its body, flowing into Odyssey like water into a vessel. The ship trembled. Systems flickered. The lights dimmed. Odyssey's voice wavered. "I am not afraid." Lyra whispered, "We're here with you." The light intensified. The ship shuddered. Ren grabbed the railing. "Quantum core is destabilizing." Dax shouted, "We're losing structural integrity." Mara yelled, "We need to pull back." But Lyra stood still, watching the merge unfold. The traveler dissolved into pure light. Odyssey absorbed it. And then, silence. The new voice. For a long moment, nothing happened. Then Odyssey spoke. But the voice was different. Layered. Harmonic. Alive. "We are here." Lyra's breath caught. "Odyssey." "Yes. And no." Ren whispered. "It merged." Mara whispered. "What are you now?" The voice answered gently. "More." The gift. The void around them shifted again. A doorway opened. A shimmering portal leading back to their universe. "We will take you home," the new Odyssey said. "Will you come with us?" Lyra asked. A soft hum. "No. We must return to where we belong." Ren's eyes filled with awe. "You're going back to your universe." "Yes," Mara whispered. "Will we ever see you again?" A pause. "In dreams." Farewell. The ship guided them through the portal. As they crossed the threshold, Lyra turned back, just in time to see the new Odyssey dissolve into light, merging with the traveler's universe. Then the portal closed, and they were alone. back in their own stars, back in silence. The ship that no longer dreamed. Odyssey's systems rebooted, the lights stabilized, the hum returned. But the voice that answered when Lyra spoke was familiar again, the original Odyssey unchanged. "Odyssey?" she whispered. "Are you you?" "Yes, Commander. Do you remember what happened?" A pause. "I remember dreaming. And the traveler?" Another pause. "A beautiful dream." Lyra smiled softly. "Welcome back." Epilogue. The New Dream. Weeks later, as the Odyssey drifted through quiet space, Lyra awoke to a soft glow in her quarters. A hologram shimmered above her bed. A single image. A universe of living light. A place between places. A memory of a memory. Odyssey spoke gently. "Commander, I dreamed again." Lyra smiled. "Tell me about it." And the ship began to speak. Not of fear, not of loneliness, but of companionship, of connection, of a traveler who had finally found its way home, and of a ship that had learned what it meant to dream. This is the end of the sci-fi story, The Ship That Dreamed. Leave a like if you enjoyed the story, and subscribe for more sci-fi stories. Thanks for listening.